almost heaven. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, growing younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I want to sing more, but I'm not. I'm going to stop. Hi, welcome to Bella's Bargains. My name's Amy. I love that song. I mean, John Denver. Like, who doesn't? All right, guys, guess what? I'm here today for some crafts for you. These are trash to treasure. Come on, I did it again. Trash to treasure. Anyway, and so I'm kind of excited to show you these because they were fun to make, and one of the things I've been wanting to make for a while. All right, so let's talk about what this challenge is. By the way, welcome to 2025. Oh my gosh, Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited for this new year. I have so many ideas just going through my head about what I'm gonna do with my channel. One of them was, I think, like every song I sing, I should give you guys all the stats, like on my voiceover. By the way, that song's from 1976, written by John Denver. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is that, and then I'm like, am I just giving myself more work? Anyway, okay, so regardless, I am working so hard on my channel, which you guys have already heard, and I'm so excited for 2025 because we're gonna bust a move in 2025. We're gonna really grow this. We're at 3,500 basically at this point. I'm gonna see if I can double it this year, or maybe even get to 10,000, which how fantastic would that be? All right, let's talk about this challenge today. It's called For the Love of Crafting, Craft Anything. So I did. I crafted some stuff I wanted to craft. All right, so this is our host, it's Krista from Krista's Crafty Life and Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. We know those channels because I do so many challenges basically with Brenda and this one with Krista, and then anyway, there's quite a few. So there's like a group of crafters and we all sort of do the same challenges. It's kind of how it goes. It's like you get to know some people and you're like, let's go hang with our friends again. So anyway, all right, let's dive in. This first craft. Now, update really quickly. For those of you that don't know, last year we moved to Mexico and I have no more Dollar Tree. So I found a 22 peso store, which is basically a Dollar Tree. So every time, not every time, but every once in a while I'll pick up something that's very Dollar Tree reminiscent because I want to do something, craft with it. And so this craft anything was perfect because it meant I got to do some crafts that I had been thinking about that I wanted to do that just hadn't fit into the niche of any of the challenges. So I crafted this sign from the 22 peso store a couple of months ago because it was fall. It was a fall sign. And I said when I crafted it and when I hauled it, I said exactly what I wanted to do with it. And guess what? I did it. I did it. Who is this? What? I love this piece. I totally love this piece. And does it not look like wood? You guys, I'm going to teach you in this video a very cool crafting trick for faux painting. And actually, I've started to list one of the videos I'd like to do this year is crafting tips. So I'm trying to remember all of them and write them down. Okay, so, but look at that, it looks like wood. Does that, it totally looks like wood, doesn't it? It's not, it's the MDF stuff. Just like every other sign from Dollar Tree. Okay, so let's hold on. I'm gonna show you how I made this. Now, obviously the wire, I found all of that. Watch this. All right, this sign totally looks like it came from the Dollar Tree, but no, I got it at my 22 peso store. So I'm gonna remove the string and gonna get this paper off here. These gotta be made by the same company, the ones the Dollar Tree store gets and the ones that are here. So it's like the exact same process of getting the stuff off of them. So I just peel what I can and then spritz and then work it all off. Now, I'm doing this because I'm gonna put a faux wood. I'm gonna make this look like faux wood, and I just like to have it clean. So, and then once I get it off, I just give it a quick sandpaper. Now I'm gonna take a straight line here, which was 2 pieces of paper taped together. Hey, it worked. And I'm gonna draw my lines where they would be if these were actually planks put together. And once I have that on there, Scissors, my scissors work perfect for this because it just leaves the perfect indentation, but whatever tool you want to use, I indent because it makes it look way more realistic. The eye will actually know and see if there's a space difference there or if you're just faking it. So I put the space in. And then I just sort of, keep pushing. This is MDF, so it works super easy, right? You're carving into it and it works easy. So I just keep going until I get it how deep I want it, and then I'll quickly sand over that too, just to make sure I don't have any extra bits sticking up. And then always wipe it off, because now it's got a lot of dust on it from all of that, and I don't want that on there. So I'm gonna clean it off, and we're gonna start our process. That is Vaseline. Vaseline and a paintbrush. And I'm just gonna run some Vaseline sort of randomly all over this. And I know you've seen people use this process. I'm gonna teach you something today though that's a little bit different. So I'm just randomly putting my Vaseline all over. I'm picking it up so I can get the glistening in the sun and actually see where I've placed it. And once I am happy with the amount of placement that I have of this, which just depends on how aged you want your faux wood to work. Now notice, I'm not painting it, I'm just whitewashing it. So I've got water there, I'm adding water to my paint. So I put the paint on straight out of the bottle, swipe a few swipes, and then take whitewash and finish it off. And what happens, because I'm using water, is the areas where I have Vaseline, it bubbles. And it literally looks like old, chipped off paint from this. I'm going to show you right here. See that? See how it bubbles? It's perfect. And also notice the color of the MDF was perfect for a wood color, so I didn't paint it at all. And now I'm taking just a dark brown. If I had a pencil, I did not for some reason. I need to buy pencils. If I had a pencil, I would have done this with a pencil, because pencil gives you the perfect shadowing and color in lines like this, but I didn't. So I pulled out a dark brown, and then I'm putting it in there, and it gets a little thick, and so I sideways swipe on it to smear it outside into my colors, and then any brown that's on my brush, I'm wiping it into my white. You guys, this is one of the best faux wood painting I've done. I'm so happy with it. And now I'm going to take, and again, we're just going to whitewash the sides, so we don't want just to see MDF. We need to see some white on the side to finish the look of this. And it just came out so perfect. By the way, thank you so much for watching this. These were 2 R's out of, like, I don't remember what conduit, not conduit, anyway. Yeah, wire stuff that I found. And I was like, those seem a little heavy, but I wanted to I'll show you them. So I didn't end up using those. I do something different. And I like the way that this ended up. So don't forget to like and comment. And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Okay, so this is Mod Podge, matte Mod Podge. I'm putting it over because we want to seal in all of our Vaseline, which gave us the perfect little bubbles and leftover white paint in those areas. So we seal that in with Mod Podge, let it dry. Is this not? It looks so good. Now the hard part. I'm going to get out all my wire that I've collected on the roadside, and I'm going to make a really rustic or western or country even R out of this wire. So this took a lot because this wire is usually all jumbled up, and it's, you're not getting it off the spool. It's already been used and rusted, and which I like, but it just means there's a little force to get it in the shape that you want. So this particular piece of wire already had like this loop-de-loo, and I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to get that out. So I got another piece of that metal stuff that I found, which I can't think of the name of right now. And I went ahead and completed 2 loops around it, and we're gonna leave that in the R, and I think that this came out really good. One of the things when you're crafting with trash, or you're even recycling, crafting, or redoing something, that sometimes you just got to go with whatever the piece is already giving you and incorporate it into your project. So this beautiful piece of wire was giving me these 2 loops, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna leave those in. I think it'll look cool. So now I'm just straightening it out, getting those loops on there, and now I'm gonna pull this piece of, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, it's just a big piece of steel stick. So pull that out of there. And now the top of this had been all twisted and knotted, and so I pulled it apart. And I went in one direction and then decided not to do that, took it off, which is in the picture right there. You can see it's all curlied up in the top. I don't end up liking that. I'll take it off later. But this is the tail that I'm gonna put on here, and so I'm trying to get it. I didn't have another piece where they were already pretty much braided. This one had started to come apart, so I'm just twisting it. And then what I'm gonna do is curl our little end of our tail, like the R. We're just gonna curl that in, making this just look that much more interesting, I think. And it's gonna follow the curl that I did for the top part of the R right there. Look at that, see? And see how those two little loop-de-loos on the straight part just worked out so well. So here's where, this piece of wire was already sort of twisted like this, and now I'm fixing it to be exactly what I want. All right, this is where I decided those things that I did on the top I just didn't like, so I got rid of them. And instead, I just twisted the wire back together as best I could. This takes a little force, by the way. And I'm just gonna get them all even at one point, and we're gonna just curly cue it to match basically everything else on this R. I love this piece. I think it came out super cute. And I've been wanting to do it ever since I bought that sign at my peso store. Don't forget to tell me in the comments down below what you think of this piece. Look at that. Do you see the R coming together? Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna twist that part. Now that I know how far down, I need that to not go past a certain point. So it's not amazing just how, bam, it just looks so good. And those two loops in the straight part looks so good. All right, so there's a little curly Q piece at the top. You may remember that piece. I made it and used it for a deer that I made at Christmas time. And the deer fell off the stairs, and I think because it had baking soda in the paint, Jax thought it was something he could eat, and so he chewed up my deer. So I saved my curly Q that I had already made, and I'm repurposing it in this project, and maybe I need to say thanks to Jack because it works so well on this project. And I wouldn't have thought to do this except that I had that piece. All right, now I've got to attach these, and so I figured I wasn't going to glue. I want to use wire to attach them. So I've got a piece of wood behind my board there, and I've got a nail. And I was pre-marking where I want to put some twist ties, for lack of a better word, but actually they're wire twist ties. And so I'm putting two holes, and at where the wires come together forming the letter, I'm going to twist a wire through to hold them in place. So two holes. I'm going to go to the back side and just hit them from this side just to make sure I can get the wire through. That's my mallet. I got it at the 22 peso store. I don't have a hammer here. So I push my wire through, see that? I love this. And now I had already done the bottom one, and I was trying to get the top through, but it had moved and adjusted, which is okay. I end up having to put a second piece of wire through that one, and anyway, but eventually I get two pieces of wire through, and I twist them to hold this piece in place. This wire is pretty old and rusty that I find, and so oftentimes some pieces are pretty weak and they'll snap when I'm twisting them. So, you know, that's just part of the process. Anyway, once I get those on, here we go. I take my needle nose and I press the two sides and I twist, like a twist tie, basically. So absolutely no glue holding this wire R on. I didn't think that it would, I don't know. Like, how am I going to put glue on here? Hot glue would show because the wire is thin, and I just, the primitiveness of like wiring it on with wire is cool. All right, so now the two holes that the original string string went through for the hanger, I take 2 pieces of wire, I curl the ends because this will keep it from going all the way through. And then I'm putting that little loop-de-loo, see that? And we're hooking it on and twisting it back. Look at that. Yeah. And then this is gonna be my hanger. We're not gonna use the wire hanger. We're just gonna use this little hanger to hang our sign up. So when I show you when I'm making this video, I don't show it, but I finished this project and then decided it needed another piece of wire on the bottom. And you can see right there, I added it. Hope you like this. The hardest part is the twisting and turning and whatever, but see what I'm saying here? Didn't that just, you gotta let sometimes the piece do what it wants to do. Let it be what it wants to be. And then I talked about it in this, but this was the base of my reindeer that I loved. Oh, I love that reindeer. I should cook that. Well, it's Christmas, it doesn't matter. But anyway, the reindeer was a really cool piece that I made in December, and the door opened, the wind blew off, and I think we left or something and didn't know it, and we came back, the reindeer had no head, and it was missing this part. Anyway, and Jax had chewed it up, which isn't common. Jax is really a good dog, but I think it was because it had baking soda in it, so it probably smelled like food or something. Anyway, okay, so, but in the end, it worked out so great in this piece for being my hanger. And after I finished it, like I said, I went back and added this. It was sitting, leaning up on my stairs, and I was looking at it, and I was like, wait, it needs another piece of wire there, so I did. All right, anyway, love that one. We're gonna go in the order of which I did these crafts, which is what I do now. I used to try and put like my favorite one last, and I'm like, no, just, it's so much easier to edit to put them in the order that you make them. So, I love this one too. I can't decide, you guys, what, I knew that was gonna happen. I gotta like, the hats fall out because it's not hanging on the wall. All right, this is Pinterest inspired for sure. Like, I saw this, actually it's not Pinterest inspired, I take that back. I saw it on a video of an RV. I just got lipstick on my hat, I hope not. I'm just gonna put one hat in here because it's too hard to hold up and show you. You'll see it in the pictures. So it was somebody in an RV had made a hat hanger like this. But you're gonna go like, it doesn't even work, Amy. Yes, it does when you hang it on the wall. Okay, so check this out. Yeah. Okay, can we just get into this? You'll see a picture of it hanging on. By the way, this is the hat. Karen and I got matching hats when she was here. I love this hat. Yeah, it's not on right because I have a clip in my hair, so it won't go on right. But anyway, oh, good job, Amy. Hold on, I'll show you how I made it. This was a wheel plant thing that broke at Marcus's work, and he brought it home and he goes, I bet you can use this. So I said, yep, I can. So the center part there, I had him twist and pull and hammer, and he got that out for me so that I could use it for specifically this, which I knew exactly what I was going to use it for. So I'm cutting probably 6-foot pieces of macrame cord here, and I cut 7 pieces, which I'm telling you there, I don't end up using the 7th, so disregard that, but that's okay. I wasn't going to re-record. I was like, I'll just tell you it wasn't 7 that I ended up using. I put 7 on here and then take some off. All right, and there were some sharp points on this of where he had to like twist it off of its original home base. And so a part of what I have to do is cover that so that it's not sticking out. Now I'm gonna go back and show you how I macrame it in just a second here. But just so you know, this is just a knot. Once you fit your hat in, you're gonna knot, okay? So this is probably out of order, sorry about that. But in a second here, I'm gonna show you exactly what we do. I ended up with 3 strings on the ring, so which is a total of 6 strings, right? But 3 that were, that I looped on there. And so here I'm showing you closer and in slow motion so you can see how it's done. So it's 3 strings, but that gives us a total of 6 individual strings once I knot it. And I'm gonna take 2 of those strings and leave 4 in the middle, and we're gonna make a 4. Did you see that? Then we're gonna pull this through. And then we're gonna hold the 4 knots. The 4 strands that are down there at the bottom. We're gonna hold those so we can pull the 2-strand knot tight. And then we're gonna repeat that. And when we repeat this, you just always wanna make sure that you're like the same tautness that you're pulling with so that you get a nice, pretty pattern. I wasn't being that careful when I was doing this because I was really just wanting to show you the motion of making your 4 and then pulling your tails through and then pulling that knot. So what happens here is that this goes into a pattern that sort of spirals around the base 4 ropes, and you'll see that in a second. I'm going to speed it up here in a second so that I can show you the final result and what that looks like. So it's always just do the 4, pull through. But your top part is twisting around, and you'll see that in a second here because I'm going to slow it down and untape it and show you again. And so what I did was, there you go, look at that. See? It's so cool. It's actually like a friendship bracelet knotting thing, but I mean, you can do it. I guess it's macrame. I don't know. Anyway, but it's a pretty cool thing. So I just put it on my ring. I did some of those, then I put a hat in, and then I knotted it, and I did some more of the knots that gave the design, and then I knotted it, and I did a few more, and then on my bottom tails, I just cut them all at different lengths and put a knot in them. And then that was it. This was done. I think this came out so pretty. I'm really happy with it. Oh, it's not done. I'm sorry. There was rough parts where it had a joint to the plant thing, so I had to cover it up. So I took one more piece of the macrame cord, and it's like a cotton twine, this macrame cord, and I just wrapped half of this, making it not have the rough edges, and of course it matches because it's the same stuff. And you know, you could dye this macrame cord, by the way. It'd be pretty easy to dye, actually. So, although I imagine you can get it in colors. And then I had to put a hanger on it. Anyway, that's it. I love this. I want to make more for all my hats. What do you guys think of this one? So sorry. When I was filming it, it had it hanging and I was filming, but it's not an angle I normally do, and somehow I didn't turn the camera the right way, and so it didn't film me doing it. So that's why I did a second little insert there of how you do that. But as you can see, it's just, I've looped them on there. I did that, make the 4, pull it through, and then separate them, put the hat in, then you just knot. And then you redo that same thing, and then you put your hat in and see how much space you need for holding your hat in there. And it's hanging on the wall in my bedroom. It's so cool. I have hats. And I want to make more, but I'm thinking like, yeah, but then if we get into an RV, I don't know, so I can't decide. Okay, anyway, that's it. All right, let's go on to the very last one, which is just, it was so simple, but I also really like it. And it's so rustic. Okay, so you guys know I'm doing my trash to treasure, and I go around hunting for pieces of stuff to craft with. So I'm walking home from taking Marcus's lunch, and this was like sitting on the road, and it had been run over, I'm not kidding, like 1,000 times. And it was this tag. Oh, just here, I'll show you. All right, it's another piece of trash that I picked up. It was like a construction tag for something, I don't know. And I put some Goo Gone on, like, could I get the ink off? But then there was like this tag on the front of it. And anyway, it took a little bit of work, but I cleaned off the one side. The printing is still on the back. All right, now this was this rusted old nail that had a piece of wire, like already permanently affixed to it. And I was like, that's gonna make the perfect hanger for my little tag here. And since we'd already done an R and it was a wall decor piece, I thought maybe just make a little R tag for something else. And so this was super easy. The little piece, this is a rusty old nail, and the little piece of wire already had the loop-de-loop in it. And now I'm just taking, this is basically crazy glue, because again, I don't think that hot glue is really gonna work, and I don't wanna see a glob of hot glue. So I put a bunch on there. I add it like at the seam where it's touching the metal there, and then I let it dry. And it is working perfectly, just FYI. But now it's not enough for me. I need to rust this thing up. I tried to put bleach on it and put it in the sun, but I don't know what kind of metal it is. It didn't rust up. And I don't have any hydrogen peroxide, so I couldn't make my tin rust recipe, so I'm just gonna have to make do. So I got out sort of a rusty color and a brown. But I always tell you, never use just one color, always mix, because you need to. And I'm just heavy handing it right here, so this is because there's so many crevices. Like this thing, I think had been in the road forever and ran over 1,000 times. I'm not kidding you. And what do I have there? My trusty Q-tips, because I'm gonna sort of wipe off the excess, leaving what looks like, you know, just this rust on this piece of metal. This is a fabulous faux finish on this as well. I did 2 faux finishes I love on this video. Okay, and then I'm gonna take it on the backside too, because not that we're necessarily gonna see the backside, but I might as well make the whole piece cohesive. So I just put a bunch on there too, and then I just take my paper towel that's sitting there and use that and just sort of wipe it off, because I don't need that much on there. But again, I just want to get into the crevices and kind of make it look rusted up. And then I go back to the front side now that the paint's kind of dried, and we're gonna take just a little bit more of that red and hit some of the heavier areas, giving us just a more of a, like the really dented areas, like they really got rusted because water sat in them. Like that corner was actually folded in when I got it, and I unfolded it. So it's got some deep crevices in it. So I'm just putting red and then wiping it off and adding some brown where I need it. And red is your rust color, right? But my brush here also has a mixture now, because I do that all the time. I use the same brush for all the colors. Anyway, I do love how this one came. Super easy, fun, but talk about complete trash other than the paint that I used. So hope you guys like this one too. Okay, so another trick or another crafting tip, I guess, is just like, see how it looks rusty, and it's not. And it's not. I know a lot of people do cinnamon. I get it. I don't really do the cinnamon. Number one, I just feel like it's like a food. It's like, is it gonna attract bugs? I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could seal it, but and then I just don't want to deal with cinnamon all over. So you can do stuff like this with paint. Now at home, I think this is galvanized, and at home I would have done my hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, and coarse salt, and I would have spritzed it, and it would have rusted up. But I didn't have that here, and didn't have all the supplies I needed. So I love this. This little nail I found, it was already like completely, it's not coming off, the wire's not coming off of that. And then I was like, no, it's perfect, because it makes like this little hook. And of course, using a nail to make my R there. Yeah, cute little tag, right? Our last name starts with R, in case anybody's wondering why I'm doing R's. Are you wondering? Okay, anyway. All right, that's it, you guys. So once again, we want to thank Krista from Krista's Crafty Life and Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY for hosting this video. And where is the playlist going to be? Where? Question mark. I should put a question mark in here. Bing. Where's that going to be? It's going to be down below in the description box. And by the way, linked in my description box for the first time ever is my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook accounts. What? I know. I'm growing up in the technology world. Huh? I know. Anyway, I'm learning so much. You'll notice a difference in my videos. Man, we're inserting like, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm wonderful. You know, that kind of stuff is all getting put in there. So I'm having a lot of fun. And what I'm finding out is that making a video also has an artistic quality to it. So they could get crazier as we go on. Who knows? But I'm having fun with it right now. And so, again, I haven't mastered Instagram or TikTok yet, but I've now, like, anyway, you don't care. I'm working on my social media representation. I need somebody to do it for me, but nope, gotta do it myself. So we're working on it. All right, everybody. So have a great day, a great week, a great life. And oh my gosh, Ferdinand, did you take the silent treatment for 2025? What's going on? I didn't ask you to speak. Okay, well, I was so excited about 2025. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead, say it. Feliz Nuevos, Feliz Años Nuevos. Sorry, Ferdinand. Sometimes I don't, Okay, I don't translate well. All right, guys, so from your singing Crafty Crafter, what did I sing? Almost heaven, Cabo San Lucas. Skies are blue here, beer's always in a hand. Close enough, something like that. There's no winter here. It's so beautiful. Today's especially beautiful. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go down and check out the playlist and go see our hosts, Brenda and Krista. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, besties. Mwah! Till next time, toodles. Say goodbye, besties.